What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Thursday episode of Clapback Culture. I'm your girl, Jules Jessie. And listen, I'm so glad to be here. Happy Friday Eve, everybody. We back. What's up? Pull up in the comments. Let me know how you've been. Your girl has been a little bit MIA, but it just seems like every Thursday it's something like the Thursday before this was like Halloween, and the next Thursday is Thanksgiving. So listen, it's been giving holidays, honey, and I've been, the girl's been working, just all the things. Listen, if you have not already, please make sure you share that stream. We are streaming you guys on all social platforms right now: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It looks like I'm having a little bit of trouble on one stream, so I just want to take some time. I just want to fix that really quick. Let me just fix this stream. Not sure why it's having this. If you're already live and if you need to change the stream, please remove this destination and then re-add it. Okay. I'm going to remove this, you guys. I just want to make sure I get this in. So anyway, yeah, what's up, y'all? Let me know down in the comments below how you've been. And I want to know what you guys are doing for Thanksgiving. Let me know. Okay, so wait, it told me to remove it, but it was working. Okay, so it was working. Let's see. Let's make sure this is still going. We're going to go with it. All right. It says that it's live. I want to make sure it's live. I want to add the stream again just to make sure. I'm sorry, you guys. Bear with me because I really want to get this stream on, you guys. I want to make sure we got the right stuff. All right. And listen. Okay, that's why it feels like it's live. Okay, hold on. Let's do end right here. And we're going to create a new live stream. Are we back? I think we're good. All right. Listen, you guys, I see you guys live on Instagram. Shout out to my Instagram family. Glad to see you guys here. I was trying to make sure that Rado's Instagram was playing, and it still looks like it's good. So I want to know what you guys are doing for Thanksgiving. I just want to my Instagram family. Glad to. All right, we good. We lit. All right, y'all. Let's do it. Let's do this show. D-Hip, what up? What it do? Y'all, listen, you guys know this is an interactive show and I want to hear from you. So we got a lot to talk about. Okay. Let's do it. Rado will be with us in a second. He's getting himself together. But in the meantime, in between time, let me go ahead and pull up our first topic. All right. Let's do it. Matt Gaetz, you guys. Matt Gaetz has withdrawn his AG nomination after so much scandalous play. I mean, not anything that we didn't know about, but it has been brought back to the forefront that, Matt Gaetz had a sexual encounter with a minor, and all other types of sexual misconduct and drugs. Matt Gaetz is saying that this is a smear campaign, but I thought it would be interesting to present the comments from his wife, because not long after he shared the fact that he was withdrawing his name from consideration from, becoming the next U.S. Attorney General, she posted on social media and said, or Twitter, the end of an era. So that's from Ginger Gaetz. I'm confused about what that even means. Like, what does that mean, an end of an era? Because listen, he is, and hold on, y'all, because I'm trying to do a lot. Let me pull the banner back down so y'all can see me. Okay. Matt Gaetz not only withdrew his nomination from becoming the president's AG pick, but he also resigned his position at the Senate. So there is a special committee that's investigating all of these allegations and things of that nature. So I'm interested to see, y'all, what this means. What is going to come, what report is going to come out, and what is it going to say? Of course, you guys, Matt Gaetz, he's one of them people. He gonna double down on the double down on the double down. Y'all already know. He already said this is a smear campaign, and I don't want to distract from what's going on with with the new president elect. And he was just like, I just want to get up out their way. It's interesting though, because Matt Gaetz's wife has been showing face around Capitol Hill. Okay. And she's been spending time there herself with lawmakers and their spouses, honey. So the girl is trying to show up and be the wife. And let me just tell you something. I don't care if you guys like Donald Trump or not. This is why having a good wife is good for having a good wife, because baby, she was ready for that White House, wasn't she? She was ready for that next step up, and he blew it. You blew it because you're so worried about having all of this sex and all the sexcapades that you're tricking yourself out of a bag. What do you guys think about that? Like, and where I'm going in the direction with this. Control yourself. Men and women, control yourself. Have some decorum about yourself. Control yourself, control your behavior, control your actions, and control your vices. You know what I'm saying? It gives, you're doing way too much in a public atmosphere. A lot of these celebrities that we're seeing out here, and I'm gonna call Matt Gaetz a celebrity, because even though he's a part of Congress, he is somebody that is well known because of all of the radical things that he says online. I think it's interesting that we're seeing now, especially in 2024, people not being able to control themselves. So that past will come back to haunt you, baby, because this would have been a good look for him. And it's a great look for us, because we do not need Matt Gaetz as the Attorney General. Let's say that. But it is, listen, coming from a wife perspective, you looking at your husband like, yeah, that part, the thing that just keeps on giving. And so that's the gift that keeps on giving with Matt Gaetz, you guys. D Hib says Pam Bondi was nominated to be the next AG now. Yep. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Pam Bondi is out of Florida, y'all. So we're going to see. I'm actually shocked and surprised that he nominated a woman. We gonna see what it gives. She might be appointed to his old Congress seat. Oh, is that speculation or is that serious? Because I didn't even know that she was interested in politics. So her sniffing around could very well mean that she's trying to see if she can take over that seat, which would be an incredible power move. You know what I'm saying? But listen, you guys, it is just one of those things. This Trump presidency is going to be a whirlwind. The word is not excited, but I don't know what to call it. Get your popcorn and put your seatbelt on, because it's going to be a hell of a ride for the next 4 years. And we'll see. Look, the people have spoken, and Donald Trump will and is going to be our president. And at the end of the day, we're just going to have to figure out what that looks like. But Matt Gaetz, he's up out of there. Okay. I want to give you guys a little forecast of how I framed out tonight's show. I want this episode tonight to be a little bit more about relationships. So every topic that we're going to talk about tonight is going to be, I want us to have critical thinking about relationships, and relationships specifically, modern relationships in 2024, and how people conduct themselves and what have you. So again, we're seeing Ginger Gaetz is standing by her man, okay, and she's giving social media something to talk about, honey. And aside from the sexual misconduct, the scandals, the investigations, the smear campaign, what have you. She's standing by her man and she's 10 toes down. So that's what it is. Dominique says, hey, y'all. Hey, girl. Hey. Yeah. And this is definitely going to be a crazy ride. But look, we got Big Rado in the building. Let's go ahead and wake it up.
What's up, y'all? Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh my God, we're definitely adding that to the show.
What's going on with y'all? How y'all feeling, y'all?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's going
Man,
on? What's going
welcome to the show.
How you guys feeling, man? How everybody going out there? Okay, we got D-Hib out there, Damo. How y'all doing? Y'all ready to have some fun?
Everybody's ready.
When I get on, I'm about to say some nonsense. It's like unapologetic. I'm like ready to kind of just get into this thing and act the fool.
Yeah, listen. All right, look, the people are live. I know you keep saying you don't see it, but I'm about to send it to you. So listen, you guys. As I mentioned, Rado, before you got on, I want this show to come from a relationship perspective. So we were talking about Matt Gaetz, and I think we've beat a dead horse with that one. Matt Gaetz has withdrawn his nomination to become the attorney general by President-elect Donald Trump. Because of all of the accusations of being improper and drugs and sex and all the things, sexual misconduct.
All that though, why would he step down with Trump in office?
Well, because the special committee is doing an investigation, so he doesn't know exactly what's supposed to happen. But I think if he did step down, it is because they asked him to.
Guys, this is listen, for all you guys out there that's under any kind of scrutiny, investigation, this is the time to get into office. Donald Trump all of that.
Well, it's kind of funny because it's like, is sexual misconduct a prerequisite to be a part of
my goodness. It's almost the same way how women sexualize themselves. Like if you see a woman in panties and bra now, she doesn't even look naked. It just looks
yeah.
Right. It's like a woman can show everything other than the clitoris and the nipple, and they're not naked. I mean, they can be totally naked, but if they have the nipple covered and the clitoris covered, you don't see anything, right? That's how it is with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is making, and this is crazy, but he's making sexual accusations against women normal, and it's crazy. Rich people just have a different outlook on life, and this is true, y'all. Let me be clear when I say this: rich people live a different life. Okay, they do not live in the same world, the same reality. They do not go by the same rules. They do not go by the same laws. Okay, now I know we're looking at we look up and we say, okay, well, hold on, Donald Trump was he did have a trial, or we look at Diddy, or we look at some of our powerful figures, and we say, oh no, they're not above the law. Trust and believe there was a million different situations in which they got over before this one. They just do not look at the law the same. They come outside, their kids kill people, their kids are drunk drivers. I mean, they get out of everything, so it's just a different world for them.
It's a lot, you know what I'm saying? All right, well, let's pivot a little bit. Again, we're talking about people who are standing their ground. Let's get into this right here. This is more of a little bit serious because I'm gonna get real messy with you on the show tonight. So let's go ahead and put some respect on the daughters of Malcolm X. They are suing with the support of Ben Crump, the CIA, the FBI, and NYPD over the civil rights leader's assassination. Excuse me.
So
go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Finish introducing.
Okay, so Malcolm X's 3 daughters. He has 6 children. So 3 of his daughters have accused these agencies of playing a role in the 1965 assassination of Malcolm X, and they're suing for $100 million. In the lawsuit that's filed in Manhattan federal court, the daughters, along with Malcolm X's estate, claim that the agencies were aware of and were involved in the assassination plot and failed to stop the killing. The reason they can justify this, Rado, and everybody that's watching, is that the 2 men who were incarcerated for the assassination of Malcolm X their convictions were the 3 men, they were convicted of the crime in his death, but 2 of them were exonerated in 2021. So this is not coming out of thin air, you guys. Investigators took a fresh look at the case and concluded that some of the evidence was shaky and authorities had held back some information. So now Ben Crump and his team are saying, okay, so what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you're saying that these men are now being exonerated, and you know, Rado, from your experience with the criminal justice system, to be exonerated is a huge deal. There is evidence that is saying that these authorities did the wrong thing, and Ben Crump is saying, listen, who's more affected than anybody than Malcolm X's daughters, his children, who were in the room with their mother when their father was shot 17 times. So I'll let you take the reins on that.
So I want to say, first of all, I like to start off with just giving a big shout out to Ben Crump and just saying thank you for all that he does for the Black community. It is sad that when we think about, well, first of all, let me say this: Black people need representation. Let's start there, okay? And it's very important. We get a lot of pushback for it, and because a lot of Blacks have that crab in the barrel mentality, they always feel that when it comes to Black people, we're supposed to do something for free. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when people talk about Ben Crump, it's like, oh, he only takes on these cases and he only doing it for the money. But we never say that when white people do it. So I want to just acknowledge Ben Crump because he has now, since George Floyd, has become an icon. So when you see him, you know he means business. I know we might not be talking about it, but I also want to bring attention to Breonna Taylor and the justice that she got. Obviously, later on we'll be talking a little bit about that and how the police officer is facing life in prison. So he did receive murder one, and that's a good thing. Finally, not so much for him, but just the accountability piece. There's something there's something in the law in which judges talk about handing down different sentences to deter crime. Something like that is going to deter crime, hopefully. But in the case of this, I want to say, hey, look, we have been worshiping Malcolm X. They have tried to take our literature. They have already taken God and separating God and state and school. And I just want to say Malcolm X was a pioneer, someone that helped further the movement, the people. And I mean, we wouldn't be who we are without him. So his sacrifice, and when we talk about sacrifice, we're talking about his life. His sacrifice of his own life is how he advanced or assisted with advancing the people. And we thank you for that. Not only should his people receive justice, but we still haven't got our 40 acres and a mule. And part of that $100 million is going to be that 40 acres and a mule. We already know that he was assassinated. Everyone knows it. We've been knowing it for 40, 50, 60 years. And now we're at a place where they can get some kind of justice. I'm hoping that they receive this settlement and more, and that they can continue on his legacy, because he was one of the most influential Black pioneers, not of our time, but of our generation.
I mean, it's crazy that we're even here. We are in 2024, almost 2025, and we're having to fight for something that's so blatantly stated. The lawsuit was not brought together sooner because the defendants withheld information from the family, including the identities of the undercover informants, agents, and provocateurs, and what they knew about the planning that preceded the attack. And it's crazy that you have these law enforcement agencies who knew that there was a plot against this man's life, but the power in which he held to orchestrate and organize the Black community to fight for our natural freedoms, fighting for our human rights, not even our civil rights, but our human rights, our rights to, just be humanized. It's a lawsuit that's long overdue, and I do hope that the family is not not just given some type of compensation,
More. Yeah, more has to happen. We are tired of things happening to our Black leaders and pioneers in the community, and they getting swept under the rug. For us here in DC, Justin Robinson, you know what I'm saying, is a name. Justice for Justin, and that's something that we have continued to, say. But at the same time, they allow our voices to be out in the streets, and then things die down, and we forget about it. The injustices that has been happening to our people for so long, and what we do as Black people is we yell. One of the things that we have to continue to do is be more intentional about policy and procedure and understanding how to write out grievances, not just to local government, but Supreme Courts and those in higher offices, so that our voices are really heard. Just shout out to that family, man. It's sad because we have gotten so far away from the movement about equality and things of that nature for Black people in general, that our young people don't even really know who Malcolm X is.
Ain't that crazy?
It's like there was no way when I was going to school that you didn't know who Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was. It was just impossible. And now you ask these young kids who they are, and they're like, hold on, was he a... That's how they start off. They'd be like, hold on, was he a... Hold on, was he a... They're just really misinformed. And that's intentional. That's intentional.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, shout out to our teachers. I know some of them are watching right now, but shout out to our teachers. I think it's also not a coincidence that teachers are the lowest paid.
Yeah, absolutely.
That they have one of the toughest jobs in our ecosystem, and they're not compensated well. They're not treated well. They're not given the things that they need in order to make it happen. I saw a TikTok where it was like, this is the only job where you have to do your work at home because you can't do your work at work. Mm-hmm. And there's so much prep in order to put together a curriculum to think about how am I going to engage a child to pass along this critical information in a way that they're going to be able to retain it, use it, and move forward with it. So it's a lot, and even just with our own kids as parents, like it's a lot of work trying to teach our kids every day, every single day, every hour, every moment is a teachable moment. And these children, these daughters of Malcolm X, this is the kind of damage that's unrepairable. Their father is first of all, father alone is someone that, you need not lose, especially a daughter. Right. Yes. But this is one of those things that is unimaginable, immense, and irreparable. It's the damage that can never be repaired. $100 million isn't enough to bring back who their father is.
It isn't. And, we pacify people with this paper. I hope they take it, and I hope they do his thing. D-Head, I can't allow that comment to go unnoticed. He said, I can't wait till the JFK and MLK files are released. Yeah, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be toxic. And, I think we have got to a place where we're so desensitized, and now with our new leader in Trump, we are so desensitized that when they really show us aliens all in this world, we won't believe it. The new thing for human beings is to put the truth in front of their face, and people deny it.
And that ain't even new. That's old.
Yeah. But let's move forward. We can talk.
Let's move on.
Let's turn up, because we're gonna have some juicy topics in a minute.
Let's take a drink to that. So cheers to that. We could to wake it up.
Let's go.
All right. So I want to do a little bit for our Do It for the Culture section, you guys.
Okay.
And I want to have a conversation about relationships. All right. So, hold on. Let me move these comments. So Neo is coming out and doing a lot of interviews where he's talking about he's no longer being monogamous. And he says there's just this weight lifted off of him. He goes on to say that he is in a poly relationship where he's in a relationship. He has two girlfriends right now. He's in two, I guess, monogamous or plural relationship with each one of them individually. thoughts, opinions, feedback, all of this. I think I'm actually really glad I'm having this conversation with you, Rado, because you are really outspoken, but you have a lot of good insight in relationships, but also the way a man thinks. And I respect Neo for finally being honest to himself, but more so honest to the people he's in relationship with.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn how people live their life. I don't care who you want to be in a relationship with. I don't care if you want 2 girlfriends, 10 girlfriends, 1 wife, 3 wives, a boyfriend, a husband, a transgender, or whatever you want to, whatever, do your thing. They call it boy pussy. I don't want to go back because I'm not sure what you said, but whatever it was inappropriate. But my point is, to be in relationship with somebody is to have pure honesty. And in a friendship, in a business setting, whatever, to be honest is the greatest gift that you can give somebody when you're in a relationship. So that's why he feels like a weight is lifted, because he never wanted to be in a relationship where he could only have one woman. He's also extremely rich. He's very talented. He is, what Kevin Samuels would consider a high value man. And I do think it's very difficult for a high value man to decide that he only wants to be with one woman monogamously forever, always, with no missteps, with nobody in between. Now, that's not to say that he won't take a wife. It's not to say that he won't take a wife, that he'll have a family with her, that he will covet her. But I do also believe that he will want additional women on the side. And we have seen that in history. But I also think they're just people that live their life like that. So honesty is the best key. If this is the way you want to live your life, in order to do that, let the other person on the other end know, hey, look, this is how I want to live. I want to have relationships with multiple women or multiple men or this and that. Are you good with that? The check it, and guess what? The people who are with it will find their way to you. That's what I think.
Yeah, and I think you hit it right on the head. I think Neo, a weight is lifted because he doesn't have to lie anymore. Men love pussy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like what they call the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So there were so many beautiful people, men and women, in this world. And for men, especially successful men who gets a lot of attention, women is on his line. Women is on his line. And he's at a place in his life where he can take care of multiple women. And my thing is, what I've learned in my age, women, for me, I don't think they look at cheating or having a mistress or extra woman. And I'm not speaking for you, Lucy, or anyone else, but I don't think they look at it as bad as what people say. I think it's the embarrassment part. I think it's being embarrassed. Women care a lot about being embarrassed. They care a lot about what other people think, as far as with them being inadequate and things of that nature. And for the most part, the conversation is never there, because for a man, what women don't understand is that every man's fantasy is always to have a wife who they can trust, who they can have and to hold, because that's the person you love. And then the disconnection that we have with sex and just beauty is a total separate thing. So having sluts or women that are willing to just satisfy your sexual need is one thing, but having that woman that you could trust, love, respect, and have in your corner, that's who get that title as being your wife. And it's 2 total different things. And it's hard for women to really understand that or respect that, because the first thing a woman thinks is that, oh, I'm inadequate, or oh, he wants something different. We're just wired different.
Let me ask you this question, and this is a pivot from Neo. I was watching this podcast called Tonight's Conversation. I'm pretty sure y'all have heard of it. If not, go pull it up on IG, and they have an app where you can go listen to the show. But it's interesting because they were I saw a clip that someone in the studio audience had asked them, do you believe a side chick can graduate to wifey status? And the male one of the men on the platform, because they have men and women both that answer the question. There was a variety of different opinions on whether that could happen. And one guy said, yeah, you absolutely can. And he's like, it's rare, but it can. And he was like, men oftentimes or will stay in relationships with their wife for their children, for finances, for pity, or for love. And maybe this additional woman is satisfying something in them. And then, after the wife maybe passes away, or they finally decide to divorce, the kids, grow up and they move out of the house, what have you. There are opportunities where that side chick does graduate into that. But I don't think that's a position that you could play safely, right? Like, that's not a good gamble to say, I will play second fiddle and be with you in secret to satisfy this portion of your life. But we've seen it. I mean, that's why people
women do it all the time, and they love it, because the reason why they love it is because they don't have to take on certain responsibilities, right? And then another thing is that there isn't enough men in this world. You have a lot of men turning homosexual, turning transgender. Women already outnumber men, and we're just talking about real numbers, right? It's difficult sometimes for women to find a man they're attracted to. Now, let's go back to Neo. Neo is a handsome, very respectable and rich kind of guy, right? That's going to draw women, because that's what women go for the most part. So of course there's going to be more than one woman that's ready to do that. What I see is this, right? And it's very simple. Men sacrifice their happiness for their families. Women will sacrifice their families for their happiness. Let me take that back to you again. Men sacrifice their happiness for their families. We want to do what? Protect and provide. We're going to sacrifice whatever we can to make sure you guys are happy. Women, on the other hand, get to a point in their life when they say, you know what? It's about happiness. It's about how I feel. They file for divorce. They say that they need to do what they have to do for them, and they go on this midlife crisis, and this happens anywhere between 27 and 40, right? So what that looks like is that the way that the side girl is able to transition into being that wifey status is when our wife no longer sees the value in her husband. Because men don't care so much about love, we care about respect. So once a wife gets comfortable and too comfortable with that husband, and doesn't see the value and doesn't uplift them and doesn't do the things that he needs, guess what the side chick is doing?
All the things that she not, right?
Yeah.
I like what you said, because I was until you said it with explanation, I was thinking about it in another way. I believe there's another way to look at what you said as the truth. Women will sacrifice their families for happiness. And here's what I mean by that. A woman will say, you know what? I will play second fiddle. I will sacrifice the traditional, conventional family. Maybe I'll never have kids. Maybe I'll never have, the white picket fence, the dog, the 2.5 kids. Maybe I'll never have that, so long as I can have you, which is my happiness. And I'll be this working woman. I'll travel with you. I'll do all these little things to continue to live my life in this pocket for you. And she will sacrifice that convention to be with that man because for love, for what she feels and that feeling. And the Hib is talking about transactional marriage. A lot of this is marriage is transactional. I don't know a marriage that isn't transactional. Yes, there's love, but you get to a point where love does not keep you in a marriage. Love doesn't even keep you in a relationship. It becomes transactional. It means, where are we going to go from here? What are we going to do when we're both old? Do you want to be the one to take care of me? Because I could be the one that takes care of you. I want to have kids. Do you want to have kids? Let's have kids together. Is this how you want to parent? Okay, I'll parent that way too. Everything is transactional. All relationships are transactional. You want something from me, I want something from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's sad because I think where when you get older and you're able to take this veil, this cloud of veil behind what relationships are, I agree with you wholeheartedly. You know, you have to give in order, you know, it's a give and take kind of relationship, and compromise is huge there because there is no 50-50 relationship.
Yeah.
Um, consistently anyway. Relationships are 90-10. They're 30-70. They're 60-40. They're 20-80. They're whatever you need to be in that moment. But
Yeah.
you know, to be in that moment is to be in that moment. What you know, what I will say is that I think women have gotten to a point when they do want a man that's honest. I just want women to understand that men lie for the most part because they do love that woman. And the thing is, the more a man loves that woman, the more he does not want to hurt that woman. So in that sense, he will dumb things down and will not say certain things. And what he wants, you know, and what he's truthful about. But the thing about it is that I wish wives and women will know that it's not even about another woman, it's about them. Men, for the most part, want their wives and their girls to step up in a certain way and do the things that those side chicks will or won't do. Now, can they fulfill every fantasy? No, because there's a million different people and a million different things. But a lot
Right.
of times, those side chicks are void and just nothing but sex toys. You know what I'm saying? And that's very intimidating for a woman, but it's very transactional for a man. Women, sex is not transactional. You guys got to like that person to some extent. For men, it's very transactional. Very transactional. It's like, hey, get a nut off and we're gone. You know, women, it's like, hold on, I gotta like you in some kind of way to be able to connect with you and give myself to you. Whether that's a little bit or a lot of it. But men, we don't have to do that. It's just like a horny dog hit you, I'm getting up out of there.
So what advice do you have for women, either the wife or the side chick?
To do what though? Advice for what?
I guess advice in general and how to play their cards.
Well, I mean, for anybody, I think it's just finding ways to be open, to be honest, being honest about how you feel about your partner, and just being willing to be there in the moment. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of women are with men for security, and that shows up because when they really don't love them and they really don't show the initiative, men feel it, even if they don't say it. It's like, okay, we know you just here for the moment, but you're not
Yeah.
doing the extra things. You're not doing the back rubs. You're not making dinner. You're not anticipating my needs. For a man or a woman, when that partner anticipates your needs, that shows a different level of focus.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, okay, this person is into me. They know what I want to eat. They know how I want my bath water ran. They know, you know, what my schedule is looking like. They're anticipating my needs. There's an intention there. When a
Yeah.
person doesn't do that or loses that, even in marriages, then things usually go downhill. And
Yeah.
then you get into that space. And one of the things that Steve Harvey said, and it kind of went over my head a few years ago, is that you have to introduce yourself to who that new person is. People
Yeah.
change into new people every 5 years. So
Hell
you
yeah.
have to be able to reintroduce and re-love that person. And that's kind of like what unconditional love looks like. But I ain't gonna be that love doctor today. Let's move forward. Can't get y'all all the Jews in one day.
All right. All right. Well, I mean, listen, I enjoyed that conversation because what I was thinking is that is true. You do have to reinvent yourself every 5 years, and that comes quick.
Yeah, it does. It
Every
comes
five
very
years comes very, very quickly.
mhm.
And I think a part of that evolution is the evolution of not only your relationship, the two individuals in that
Evolution of
relationship.
you. It's the evolution of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, people in 5 years, people get a new job, they have kids, they have traveled, they have been through trauma, they have lost a parent, they have lost a sister, they
Mhm.
have been through some kind of abuse, they have won $1 million. It is too they have you get Trump in office, you get a stipend, you know, PPP loans come into place. There's so many different things that people go through that take them through lows and highs that
Mhm.
shift the narrative of who they are today. So you have to be
Mhm.
able to meet that person. Today you Jews, tomorrow you Lucy, tomorrow I don't know who you're gonna be, but I know I'll see you next Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, no. It's important, and I think it's important to grow with your partner. And the second you're not evolving together and taking your partner with you, that's when y'all gonna lose it. So shout out to Neo for being honest with himself. You see, he's had a lot of different failed marriages and things of that nature, but the man is saying he's happy, and so we're seeing even a lot of these other women going into these transactional relationships, with men of wealth, even younger than them, the Drea Michelles of the world. But the thing is, if that's what you're gonna do, that's what you're gonna do. So,
Yeah.
um,
The
you know,
price of PUSSY.
there we go. All right, this is breaking news, you guys. Did you hear about this? Jussie Smollett's hate crime hoax conviction was overturned by the Illinois Supreme Court, y'all.
Can you
So,
do that?
yes, you can. Yes, you
Oh,
can.
I hate
It was
that.
overturned. This is breaking news as of like 5 or 6 hours ago. So, um,
What is
the
the deal? Why are they? So this is my thing, right?
mhm.
And see, this is my thing. I'm not so much in this community, but I'm about to stand up for this community. I think they're targeting him now. Like at this
Yeah.
point, I think he's getting targeted. As a gay male, I think he's been targeted. It is no way in this world that we're still talking about Jussie Smollett this 4 or 5 years later, man. They need to
Well,
leave this man alone, man.
his attorneys submitted an appeal. So this is him. This is him trying to right the wrong. So here's the background, you guys. Okay, so
Hold on. Time out. You say he went in and did this?
yeah, his conviction is overturned. It's no longer a conviction.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought the government came. I thought he was found not guilty, and the government came and okay. I'm
No,
sorry. Let me
no, no,
listen.
no. Okay, let me
Let
catch
me-
you up. Let me catch you up because you won't hear for all of this. So back in 2019, you guys, Jussie Smollett was
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Come on, let me get you
Come
together.
on. For the free world. Come on.
All right. So Jussie Smollett, this is the actor who was on Empire. Okay. He was like the leading actor on Empire. He was convicted for allegedly staging a hate crime against himself in Chicago, that cold winter Chicago in 2019. It was a huge snowstorm. Remember, he said that he was picked up by police. He had the noose around his neck. He was the guy who was walking in the middle of the night to go to Subway. Okay, it was the whole thing. Turns out he hired his trainers who are also Nigerian brothers that he paid like $5,000 to beat him up with MAGA hats on. All right. So the charges were initially dropped. Okay. But a special prosecutor came in a second time after the original charges were dropped back in 2019 and said, nah, come back here. We gonna hit you with these charges. So he got hit with 30 days in jail. He only did 6. But ever since then, Jussie has been trying to say this was not a hoax. This was not a hoax, and his lawyers fought to appeal it. So it's not being so the conviction, you guys, is not being overturned because he told the truth. No. Jussie Smollett still is crazy, a person in Crazy Town. But the reason this is being overturned is because the Supreme Court is saying this was not a decision on the merits of the case, whether or not he's guilty or not guilty, or if he did or he didn't do it. This is strictly a constitutional decision saying that that his due process rights were violated by the way the system prosecuted him. So
Some money, boy. Some money. See, this is the thing. A lot of people don't understand what that moolah do, man. I know he's not rich, but man, the money that you have for your lawyers to really get up in there and really do what they have to do is life changing, y'all.
well, listen, what's the girl who faked her own kidnapping? She didn't go to jail.
That's out of control. And you know
Well, she went to jail for a couple of days. Hold on, she did, right?
that's been swept under the rug. And now she had like a fine or something. She had like a fine or something, but that's been swept under the rug.
Right.
It's crazy, man. His case was like all over the place. It's just nonsense, man. I really, really do not want to hear nothing else about him, man. But yes, D-Hib, it was a hoax. Trust and believe it was a hoax.
Yeah, so it still was a hoax. But what we're talking about the Constitution, right? And so the Supreme Court ruled that basically this should have never went to trial. There should have never been a sentencing. He should have never did any probation. He should have never did any time in the Cook County Jail.
Yeah.
The original prosecutor said, "We're done. We're just dropping these charges. We're done with it." Remember, they circled the block. The special prosecutor circled the block, you guys, because he was still, once they found out he did the hoax, he still was on the news talking about it. And he was doubling down on the fact that, nah, this was not a hoax. And they kept saying, okay, so this was punishment. And so the Supreme Court said this is not fair. It's not just. And so they switched it over. So
again, it is not just, Justin.
Jussie Smollett is still saying he was a victim of racist and homophobic.
Well, my thing is this, right? So I used to argue, guys. I used to argue with Lucy all the time about which show was better, Empower or Power. And she was like, man, Power is just the best. And I was like, no, Empire. And Empire started having a different kind of dynamic to the show. They wanted to be a little more appeasing to different ethnicities and things. And when they did that, I got turned off a little bit. So I stopped watching the show as a whole. I think their ratings fell. And I just have to say this on a public platform and say that Lucy was right. Power to this day is still a great show. Not just the normal Power, because back then you were saying this before there was like the spin-offs, before the Kanans and before like the the other ones that with his son. But even with those, Power is just a great show. Shout out to 50. Continue to do your thing for the culture. Power is really, really a consistent, really good show.
And I think 50 said that he was not doing the show anymore either.
Yeah. So 50 is very stubborn. 50 knows his worth, and he understands that he is responsible for taking the ratings of stars from here all the way to there, right? And he hasn't been compensated the right way. He has a person in there who's trying to take his ideas and do different things, and he's like, no, it's my way or the highway. So my thing about that and the genius that's in him is that, hey, guess what? I made one Power, I'll make another one.
Absolutely. And you know what? When 50 says he gonna do something, he gonna do something. You hear me? Like his stuff is gonna be what it's gonna be. Uh-oh, looks like we lost Rado. I don't know how we did that. All right, let's see if he gets back in here. But if not, listen, y'all, that was our last topic. But one thing I can say is that 50 Cent, when he does his thing, he does his thing, you guys, for real. There we go. Boop, boop. Welcome back. Uh-oh. Rado, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that was our last topic of the night. Did we go over everything? Yes, we did. All right, so Thanksgiving plans. What do we got?
Man, we're gonna eat these people out of house and home.
Come on.
So look, guys, man, shout out to my new catering company, Wake It Up. We are taking orders anytime you guys want to have a few of your sides or main dinners or whatever kind of food you want. You can reach out, but I hope you guys are safe out there. That's the most part. We really, really want people to get back to the roots and the real cause of what Thanksgiving is, and it's about giving thanks and coming together with your families. I think we're getting too far away from what traditional is, and I think we need to get back to sitting in front of that TV, having your uncles and aunts over, because what Thanksgiving means is that out of 365 days of the year, it forces the entire family to be together in one room. And that is very rare with everything that people have, the obligations that they have, things of that nature. It's important to bring everybody to the table in one room, in one house, I grew up having all those weird things like, oh, you got so big. Black people love to say that. Oh my God, you got so big. You could be 50. They say it when you 5 and when you 50. Oh, you got so big. It's so good to see you.
You know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's just out of control.
Do not listen, y'all. Mental note. Do not tell listen, because I did get big. I got big. Your girl put on some weight, but do not. When you tell me I look cute. Do not.
Yeah. Do not say the big.
Don't tell me I look big.
Do not say the big.
Don't tell me I look big. Don't tell me I put on weight.
No BIG. No BIG.
Nothing. Don't say anything. You tell me I look cute, or you don't tell me nothing at all.
D Head, man. Shout out to you, D Head. It was a pleasure tonight, man, having the show with you.
Yeah, man.
Your butt off, man. Next week, we definitely gonna give some updates on Diddy. It's been a lot going on with Diddy. His son's going around beating people up for putting dirt on their father's name. Shout out to y'all. A lot of things with Diddy. The case has been weakened. All those 150 something people, those are civil cases, not criminal cases. Diddy is also fighting to get out of prison, saying that his
you mean they're civil cases, not criminal cases?
Yes, and they have also lied. All of those different women that said they was coming up and all that, the prosecutors lied. There's only one witness in this whole case, so it's a lot of craziness.
Thug is home. He free.
Hey, welcome home, Thug. Welcome home.
Welcome home,
Thugger cop to a crazy plea, but it's better than being inside, man. Thug is home. He's here to stay, man. We ready for him to make good music. That's all I have, man. When I'm not here, y'all, you guys can catch me on all platforms at Rado007. Also my new catering page will be Wake It Up DMV on Instagram and Gmail and all different pages. And the one I'll always keep is Rado@gmail.com.
Rado007 Gmail. All right, y'all. Well, listen, it has been a great show with you. We will not be here on Thursday because it's the pagan holiday, as D-Hib would say, but it's Thanksgiving. So in order to give thanks, we will be giving you a thank you by a day off, but we'll be coming back right after that. In the meantime, in between time, you guys know where you can find me: Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok at Treasure of JULES. That's Treasure of Jules. Pull up, follow me. Let me know what you want to talk about next week. But listen, until then, peace.